This had been one of like the weirdest concepts for an anime I've seen in a long time. Every single character was like completely different besides Lucy. Lucy was just Rebecca and it was like the exact same character, but she was a VTuber. For some reason they had YouTube in this world and she was they called it BCuber, but that's literally just VTuber. Then she also had Happy. His name was still Happy, and he didn't go with the Natsu character. He was like friends with Lucy when they were like children. Not only that, but Happy is a robot and he transforms into guns that Lucy uses. In this series, they have a Demon King and they have world-ending monsters just in space that can consume time itself. We went from a normal shonen fairy tale anime to just like crazy nonsense. It's literally a fever dream. Every episode was just so fucking weird. I did not know what was going on like the entire time. Each character was completely different, but still like you would know who they were. They had Urza and Jalal in it, but this time Urza was a space pirate and she was a bad guy, while Jalal was with the government trying to hunt her down. There is so much like random. I feel like it's endless. That's the best way to describe it. I'm watching Edalus with magic. And the main character, like the main hero, which is Natsu, they call him Shiki, and he has the power to control gravity, which that has to be one of my favorite powers. I think the ability to control gravity is so overpowered. He can literally fly. He can make his fist have way more weight to it, so when he punches, it hits way harder. And his grandfather is the fucking Demon King. Like, what is going on here? I think the creator had to been on like at least some forms of drugs. Honestly, it's probably been cocaine. I don't even know. The dude was just doing shit and he did not care about Fairy Tail in this at all. But what was kind of funny is that they randomly would just have Fairy Tail characters in the background. I saw Lucy and Natsu in there, and then like I think it was the second episode, we saw Levi and her group. We also saw, I think it was episode 10, we saw Mira Jane and Lisana. Like they just throw in characters from Fairy Tail in the background that don't speak at all, and it's just like a little Easter egg that you can see and go, whoa, what the fuck? Why is Lisana here? This show was so weird and all over the place, but honestly, I really liked it. It might be because I'm a big fan of Fairy Tail. I've always loved Fairy Tail. I thought it was a great show. And the fact that this is like so similar to Fairy Tail. They had like I felt like I was watching Fairy Tail, but it had way better animation because of this is way newer. So it has better art style, better animation. And Rebecca literally just looked like Lucy. It was like the exact character. Happy was the also exact character. It was so wild and jarring just to see all of these things happen. Well, the like craziest thing was the fact that they were VTubers. It was so weird to hear Lucy say like and subscribe, to hear her ask for subscribers and to make videos and publish it on YouTube was the weirdest thing to see in Fairy Tail. You know, like Fairy Tail was this shonen action like magic world that they fought in guilds and had the power of friendship. And then it was just this anime that made fun of that trope and then just did such random things all the time. Eden Zero is more of like a comedy and honestly a fan service. Like a lot of the scenes they showed, to be fair, Fairy Tail is a lot like a fan service too. Fairy Tail is very like showing female bodies and so is Eden Zero. I think it's just the creator. He really likes that stuff, I guess. Also, another like really weird and big thing that happened is like the main plot, the main storyline is that they're going on an adventure to find Mother. And Mother is, you would think like his mother, right? But it's not. It's the goddess of the universe that's outside of space that they're in itself. So they have to travel past the time space that they're in to go into another different time space itself to find this person who is literally the goddess of the universe. And he's doing it just because his grandfather, the Demon King by the way, said, yo, go do that and then make a bunch of friends. basically you get a wish and she grants you a wish, and his wish is just to have 1 million friends. Like, he's the most Natsu character, and it's so weird to see, like, because he's a child, right? He looks like a child, and he acts like Meliodas. So it's so weird. It's like they threw a bunch of tropes from different anime and a bunch of references from a bunch of random stuff, and just threw it in together and made one big, like, just anime. They even had a Naruto reference, although you could argue that it isn't a Naruto reference and it's just a shinobi ninja reference, since that is what it is. But I mean, he literally said ninjutsu and did hand signs to move his hand into hitting people. So I would like to think that that's a Naruto reference, but it could just be like a ninja reference. But I think that's hilarious. This was like such a meta show that was made just to fuck with people. Like, this I don't think is gonna have like the crazy good plot. I think this is just something to watch and just go like, holy shit, what's happening right now? It's an anime just to fuck with you. And that's when we come to my opinion on this. I think Eden Zero is a very good anime. And you know what? That might be very dumb to say, right? But Eden Zero, for what it was made to do, I think it does it really well. It's a comedy that is around like the same universe as Fairy Tail. Of course, it's not the same universe because they're just in space all the time. The way I think about it, it's like Fairy Tail but mixed with Space Dandy. It's got the comedic aspect as Space Dandy. It's got the like space and universe as Space Dandy. So I compared it a lot with that. But it was also a bunch of just Fairy Tail. Saw a bunch of Fairy Tail characters, and the last scene they literally talk about the Rosyan Seis, which was from Fairy Tail, and the fact that they're just in Eden Zero 2 is kind of weird, but I kind of like it. I think it's kind of funny. So yeah, that was the video talking about Eden Zero. That was basically my opinion and why it's so weird and jarring. It's literally a fever dream. So yeah, hope you guys have a good day, and goodbye.